Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zheng. Today, I will share with you some exclusive information. Xi Jinping's master plan for ruling for 30 years or 6 terms, the strategic goal for each term, as well as how he is planning to transfer his power to his illegitimate son. Then I will briefly talk about 2 pieces of other news that are related to the CCP's war preparation. So make sure you stick around till the end. Today, on March 10th, at the CCP's National People's Congress, Xi Jinping was unanimously elected chairman of China and chairman of the Central Military Commission of the CCP. A total of 2,952 deputies were present, and everyone voted for him. According to Xinhua, thunderous applause broke out across the Great Hall of the People when the results of the elections were pronounced. Actually, when Xi Jinping left his seat to vote for himself, thunderous applause also broke out then and even longer. Watch this. Quite something, right? So today is a historic day for both Xi Jinping and China. Although when Xi Jinping changed the Chinese constitution to remove the term limits for the chairman and vice chairman of China, we already knew this would happen. Today is the day when it really happened. Xi officially became Emperor Xi for the CCP's China. Interestingly enough, exactly 111 years ago today, in 1912, another historic figure, Yuan Shikai, became the second interim president of the Republic of China. At that time, the Chinese people had just overthrown the Qin dynasty and established the Republic of China, the first republic in Asia. However, after becoming interim president of the Republic of China, Yuan Shikai wanted to change the Republic of China back to a monarchy, and he indeed did it on December 12, 1915. He declared himself emperor of the Chinese emperor under the era name of Hongxian. But his Chinese emperor lasted for only 83 days and ended on March 22, 1916. In less than 3 months, Yuan Shikai died, forever remembered by history as a shameful person who wanted to reverse historic progress. Well, will Emperor Xi have better luck than Emperor Hongxian? We have to wait and see. Although nobody knows how long Xi's emperor will last, his own plan is forever. Xi has not only made a plan to rule for 30 years or 6 terms, but also has arranged to have his own illegitimate son inherit his communist throne. According to Professor Yuan Hongbin, Xi Jinping's 2 trusted aides, Li Qiang and Cai Qi, have created an 80,000-word plan titled Strategic Goals for 30 Years and 16-Term Rule for Xi Jinping. And this is also one of the reasons why Li Qiang and Cai Qi gained special favor from Xi Jinping. See this photo. Li Qiang is the man behind Xi. He is now virtually the number 2 person within the CCP and second only to Xi Jinping himself. Li Qiang just became a member of the CCP Politburo Standing Committee at the CCP's 20th National Congress. It was even reported that he was the one who successfully convinced Xi Jinping to end the insane zero-COVID policy. He will be the next premier of China and responsible for managing the vast government system. And this is Cai Qi. He also became a member of the CCP's Politburo Standing Committee at the CCP's 20th National Congress and is currently the first secretary of the Secretariat of the Chinese Communist Party and the 5th ranking member of the CCP Politburo Standing Committee. He basically oversees the day-to-day operations of the CCP. Now, let's talk about the 80,000-word plan drafted by Li Qiang and Cai Qi for Xi Jinping. According to this plan, 2 goals are to be achieved during Xi Jinping's 3rd term, which is between now and 2027. The first goal is to abandon the illusion of peace and solve the Taiwan issue through military means. The second goal is for Xi Jinping to be promoted from General Secretary to the chairman of the CCP on the basis of resolving the Taiwan issue victoriously. During Xi Jinping's 4th term, which is between 2027 and 2032, the CCP's primary international political objective is to disintegrate the US-Japan and US-South Korea alliances, which are the 2 important strategic support points of the United States in East Asia. After that, the U.S. strategic influence will shrink beyond the second island chain. During Xi Jinping's 5th term, which is between 2032 to 2037, China will use its powerful diplomatic, military, and economic energy to make various island countries in the South Pacific its vassal states. In the meantime, the CCP will also disintegrate the alliance relationship between the U.S. and Australia, thereby causing the U.S. strategic existence to withdraw from the Asia-Pacific region and retreat to North America. Furthermore, because the East is rising and the West is falling, the U.S. will gradually shrink into a regional country. During Xi Jinping's 6th term, which is between 2037 and 2042, China will establish its community with a shared future for mankind based on communist values, transform and then replace the United Nations. Thus, China will become the dominant platform for international politics. At this stage, China will, of course, replace the United States as the leading force shaping the fate of humanity and accomplish the mission of communist revival, thus fulfilling its mission of communist revival and realizing the communist ideal of occupying the entire world as pledged in the Communist Manifesto. And by achieving this goal, Xi Jinping will achieve a historic status equal to that of Karl Marx, becoming one of the 2 greatest leaders in human history. Well, crazy enough, right? But Xi Jinping has already become the new emperor of China, completing the centralization of power within the country. And the world's great dictators are often psychopaths living in their own imaginations, detached from reality. Yuan Hongbin also revealed that for a considerable period of time, there has been an open secret circulating in the Beijing officialdom that Xi Jinping is actively grooming his illegitimate son, Xi Mingzheng, as his heir apparent to the communist throne and training him with the quality of a national leader. I don't know whether you have heard the name Xi Mingzheng or not. He's publicly known as Xi Jinping's nephew and is also known as Qi Mingzheng. Qi is Xi Jinping's mother's surname. 7 months ago, I did a video about his secret marriage with Teresa Tsai or Tsai Qi-run, who is the chairwoman of the board committee of Sino Pharmaceutical Limited, China's #1 vaccine producer. Teresa Tsai is also the grandniece of Danny Cherevanaut, whose Chinese name is Xie Guoming, senior chairman of the CP Group and was once the richest man in Thailand. So if you are interested, please go back and watch that show again if you haven't. Anyway, Yuan Hongbin said the reason why Xi Jinping risked going against the entire CCP system and mercilessly took down his potential successors, such as Sun Zhengcai and Hu Chunhua, was to pave the way for Xi Mingzheng to officially become the heir apparent to the communist throne. Even Chen Ming'er, who is Xi Jinping's own ally and who has once said to be a potential successor, failed to rise higher after becoming a member of the CCP's Politburo. To many China observers' dismay, he was transferred to Tianjin City and was only appointed as the mayor of Tianjin in December last year after the CCP's 20th National Congress. So his prospect of becoming Xi's successor was killed. Yuan Hongbin said, as a matter of fact, Chen Ming'er was neglected exactly because of his aspirations to become Xi's successor. In all these years, she has been actively suppressing other factions within the CCP as well, and one of the purposes is also to pave the way for Xi Mingzheng or Qi Mingzheng. Yuan Hongbin said, according to the plan made by Li Qiang and Cai Qi, after Xi Jinping launches a war against Taiwan and conquers the free country, and is subsequently crowned as the CCP chairman, which will be after 2027. Xi Mingzheng's position as the heir to the communist emperor will be gradually made known. During the recent held second plenary session of the CCP's 20th Central Committee, Xi Jinping demanded that the leader of the CCP's super police apparatus, namely Li Xi, the head of the CCP's Central Commission for Discipline Inspection and the National Supervisory Commission, turn the blade inward and prevent any hidden dangers, and clean up the CCP's Central Commission for Discipline Inspection and the National Supervisory Commission first. It is reported that one of Li Xi's priorities is to investigate officials who have expressed dissatisfaction with the possibility of Qi Mingzheng becoming Xi Jinping's successor. Such officials will be severely punished in accordance with the CCP's discipline that prohibits any action that could harm the two upholds No leniency will be shown. To uphold is also translated as to safeguard. It means upholding Xi's core status in the party and upholding the party's centralized authority. It is now enshrined in the CCP's constitution. So if anybody is said to oppose the two upholds, he will be doomed. I don't know whether you have heard the news about Ren Zhiqiang, who called Xi Jinping a clown, being sentenced to 18 years 2 years ago. Ren Zhiqiang is a very famous Chinese real estate tycoon and also a so-called second-generation red, as his father once served as China's Vice Minister of Commerce. So you can say he's one of the CCP's own people. He has a nickname Big Cannon Ren and is well known for his outspoken criticism of the CCP. He had been criticizing Xi Jinping and the CCP for many years, but never encountered big problems before. So why was he given such a heavy sentence after calling Xi Jinping a clown who wants to be an emperor even if stripped naked? Yuan Hongbin said the real reason was not what he said about Xi Jinping. The real reason was that he wanted to expose Xi Jinping's attempt to establish the Xi family's communist dynasty. He tried to warn the party and the public against Xi Jinping's attempts to establish a Xi family communist dynasty, and this warning was what really angered Xi Jinping. So, after being a big cannon or a big mouth for many years without problems, he finally got himself in trouble and ended up in prison. Well, the above is what Yuan Hongbin revealed in his YouTube show. As far as I can see, there's a lot of credibility in it, as it explains many of the phenomena we have observed before. So I'm talking about it here for you to decide whether you want to believe it or not. Next, I'd like to talk about two moves in China that was probably related to the CCP's war preparation. According to an official report published on March 4th, Xiamen City's Defense Mobilization Office has innovatively developed and constructed the Xiamen Civil Air Defense Navigation Platform, which has officially launched on the iXiamen platform. Before we go on, let's look at this map first. The red circle marks where Xiamen City is. You can see it is very close to Taiwan and almost the closest Chinese city to Taiwan. Now let's go back to the report. It says, based on the vectorization and specialization of civil air defense professional data, the platform is equipped with convenient and protective functions such as civil air defense maps, early warning notification, and civil air defense publicity and education. It provides citizens with a more comprehensive and practical urban air defense and disaster prevention plan. This is what the so-called Xiamen's Civil Air Defense Navigation Platform looks like. The report says, firstly, the platform's civil defense map feature can display the 5 nearest air defense shelters and all temporary shelters, subway stations in the city to citizens, enabling them to quickly find nearby civil defense projects, civil defense education locations, and emergency shelter facilities. At the same time, the map provides various routes such as driving, public transportation, walking, and cycling, providing estimated time and distance, allowing citizens to quickly find the nearest shelter in emergency situations. Secondly, the warning notification function can automatically pop up at the platform entrance and push prompt information during war or emergencies. This means as soon as the air defense alarms ring in the air, the navigation system will flash on people's cell phones. This reminder method can quickly guide citizens to take self-shelter during emergencies, in reducing disaster losses. Finally, the platform also sets up 3 themes, including air defense shelters, emergency shelters, and convenient service places, incorporating several defense projects, rail stations, emergency shelters, and parking services, etc. These applications can allow citizens to more comprehensively understand urban air defense and disaster prevention knowledge, thereby improving their self-protection capabilities. This is another picture showing where the air defense navigation platform is located on the iShaman platform. This is a picture that demonstrate how the air defense navigation platform can show the nearest cover points. It includes 4 main functions: civil defense map, warning alert, on-site reporting, and a civil defense education. You know, the so-called air defense system in China was built decades ago when the CCP was preparing to have a war against the former Soviet Union. Many cities built a large number of underground facilities then. Later, because the war didn't happen, these facilities were turned into underground shopping malls, parking lots, warehouses, etc. Some just stayed idle. In other words, this system has now since lost its air defense function. Now, not only was this system in Xiamen City reactivated, but a navigation system to guide people on how to find the nearest cover points has been developed and is online now. So you figure out what this means. Another piece of news that now not many people noticed is this. This is a report on the government's website of Fujian province. Again, Fujian province is the nearest Chinese province to Taiwan. Xiamen City is right in Fujian province. The report was posted on February 8th. It says that Xiamen Municipal National Defense Mobilization Office held a meeting with 18 designated production enterprises of civil air defense protective equipment in Xiamen City on January 31st. And the purpose was to strengthen the quality management and industry supervision of civil defense and chemical protection equipment in Xiamen City, and to regulate the market behavior of civil defense engineering and chemical protective equipment. The report is very short and doesn't disclose many details about the meeting. It only says that 3 measures will be adopted to strengthen the joint quality supervision by defense mobilization offices at the city and district level. And the 3 measures include: 1. Strengthen the quality testing method and expand the testing coverage. 2. Increase the frequency and quantity of testing for enterprises with serious quality problems. And 3. Creating a credit evaluation system based on the regulations of the Provincial National Defense Mobilization Office and pushing information to the credit supervision platform. Although not many details were revealed, the fact that such a meeting was held itself tells us that the CCP's national defense mobilization is actively underway. Recently, more and more media are reporting on the possibility of military conflicts in the Taiwan Strait. Maybe each media outlet has its own source to confirm the increasing possibility. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, please spread my channel and videos or go to my website at jenniferzengblog.com, jenniferzengblog.com. Sign up for a membership or make a donation to show your support. Thank you. Have a nice weekend and see you next week.